I'm pleasure to be with the shiny faces there in Saudi Arabia and to join our, that thoughts and a sort of experience relating with the ransomware attacks and the things there related with the cybersecurity. I'm trying just to be quickly with the presentation, and I'll start. You just allow me. Yes, I'll start initially with some fact and figures there with the ransomware. You know that the ransomware is #1 threat right now worldwide. And so many people, they are aware about the ransomware and the impact of the ransomware, which is basically harming the organization for their data, the infrastructure, the operation, the business operation itself, and the impact on the reputation, on the level of retrieving the data after the ransomware is happening there in the organization. And that's why the people, they are investing more and more from awareness part, from the infrastructure part, monitoring, event logging there, so many aspects there with the cyber resilience in order to protect their environment, their infrastructure, their business line, the business operation from the ransomware attacks. If we look for the presentation, we will see that there is a huge number of attacks there with the ransomware. It's about a $4.4 million the people that are paying there in order just to recover their infrastructure from the ransomware attacks that they received. During the past period, the people, they say the PwC, the other study, or what they call it, that the researchers, they found that there is a 150% increase of the cyber attack with the ransomware comparing with the previous period, and this especially happened there after the pandemic itself in 2020, since more people, they are they are working from their home. The organization, they invest more to facilitate the connectivity and the data retrieval from their home itself. So most of the people, they are working from home, and there is a sort of a cyber, controls, breaches there. It happens at that time. If we look for the total potential damage there from the ransomware attacks, it's around the 1 billion there. See how much that the people, they are paying it to recover the damage of the ransomware that has happened there in their environments. The BlackFog company, they have a sort of figures there in 2021 for the ransomware. In a summary, they found that there is a 17% increase in a ransomware in worldwide, comparing it from 2020 till 2021. So there is a 17% increase in a total number of, or a total percentage of the ransomware attack. 80% ransomware expired data, which means that we have more breaches there with the ransomware, with the data leakage itself. 80% attackers use the partial commands. That's why the people, they are working right now to protect the organization from the PowerShell executions commands there. These are some of the figures in 2021. From the organization perspective, we will see that there is 89 an increase of the technology sectors. It's basically a war. You have more companies that are developing a sort of solutions to protect the organizations, the countries, while we have a huge number of attackers there worldwide. And you know that the attackers, it's about two types. One of the types are a targeted based type, which is the people who they have a problems with the other countries, with the other people, and they want to harm them, to breach their data, to make a loser for their organizations. And they are specifically attacking these people because of these certain issues. But we have another huge number, which is the unknown people who they want to play, who they want to see the strength of their knowledge and experience in a cybersecurity and cyber attacks. They don't have a target objectives for this attack, but they want to try and to see their capabilities, whether they can do, whether they can attack, whether they can breach the data of other organization. And these are a huge number there. And that's why you'll see that in the web, there is a lot of softwares there. People, they are always trying to see how this application is running there with the other people. They found out the vulnerabilities there. And in case if they can do a sort of a breach there, then they move to another step, which is a targeted base, because they feel that whenever they be in success with some of the organization, they can ask for the money. And this is basically the main issue of the ransomware, who's the people who they can breach data and they can encrypt. So after that, they will ask for the money from this organization in order to unlock or to decrypt their encryption code for their data. So that's why there is a huge number of increase in technology organization or sectors, because of this a huge number of having the attackers there worldwide. So we will see that on the other hand, that the technology sector, the companies, they will start developing more and more solutions in order to protect the environments there. Again, we have a huge number of also of the attacks being attacked or being specifically targeted to the government organizations. There's around 24% there. After that, we have the healthcare, 30% of the attacks being attacked by the healthcare itself. The retail sector as well, because they are a financial-based sector, so more attacks there, more attacks being targeted there for the retail sectors. If we look for the entire sectors there, we will find that there is a huge number of target-based attacks, ransomware for the government, and this is basically the same as the previous presentation, but it's only showing that the government, it's been the most targeted sectors with the ransomware. It's followed by the education, services, health care, and the technology. So the government, they should take care more about their organization, about their data, because they are most targeted sectors there in the worldwide. The point is, if the people, they've been attacked with a ransomware, and the attackers, they ask for money, do I have to pay the amount, or the asked amount for the attackers or not? This is a most important question. People, they might going and they said, okay, I'll go and I pay the amounts there, and I want the data to be retrieved there to my organization again. I have a very critical data, a very sensitive data there, a highly confidential data. I don't want this data to be breached out or to be leaked to the outsiders. That's why they may be under pressure to pay the amount. In general, we don't have to pay the amount for the attackers. There is a research that says that in 97% of the ransomware attacks, it is impossible to again access the data without any decryption softwares. We recommend to avoid paying these amounts to that attackers itself. And there is, you know that, yeah, whenever you've been paid itself, there is no such guarantee that the data it will not be breached to the other people, because they already attack you. So a sort of a points or a tips, we should consider them after having these ransomware. Number one, we don't have to pay, and if we paid, sometimes, and I cannot say that sometimes, most of the times, you are being targeted. So whenever you pay, next time they will, again, they ask for more payments there, and it is exploiting you to pay them more and more money. There is no guarantee if we pay that, all the data it will be retrieved. And this is a very important point, that no guarantee for having data to be leaked again with the other people. And there is no guarantee that you will receive data 100% as it's been there before the attacks itself. Also, it is impossible to know that what other resource the hackers have been gained access to. Maybe he has another access there, and you will be under monitored there while you are working with your business. So once you've been attacked there and you pay their amount and they open your infrastructure or they decrypt their files again, and you start or unlock your systems there and you start doing the things again, maybe they have a certain access left or right in your systems and your application and your platforms, and he is monitoring you and he knows every single transactions that you made it there. Paying the ransom merely encourage the frauders to commit further crimes, which means that it might even going for the other organizations, and they are asking for more money and for more benefits from them. I'll move to some of the trends there right now in the ransomware, and this is basically in 2020 and 2021. And one of the trends that's been there available during this period, which is the ransomware as a service. They call it RAAS, which is basically a service that between the service operator or the ransomware operator and the ransomware users there. And this is one of the dangerous issues there right now with the frauders. The people, they are working together, and each of the people, they can put their ransomware scripts there as a code, and everyone, they can use it, and they can use it even based on their usage itself. So they can use this code and they attack it for someone in any organizations there, and the period that they use this service, it's payable period. So they pay for the use of malware there. And this is one of the threats there, that it is basically harming the people during this period. There's some prediction there with the ransomware. The ransomware will not be stopped. It will be increased more and more. And during, that the improvements of the digital transformation approaches with the countries, there is a high demand of the ransomware, because people, they want to move more with the digital aspects rather than the manual and analog things there. So moving with more digital activities of more digital transformation, this is keep the attackers' eyes open more and more to attack these kind of the digital initiatives. And mostly the government, it's one of them, the government level, they are more working with the digital transformation, and that's why the attackers, they keep their eyes on this sector more and more. With the government, again, it will be involved more with the ransomware, and the forecasting for growing till the 25, it is more than 30% for the current ransomware attacks. This is basically some of the things there with the prediction. I'll move to the other tips there and how we can mitigate the risk of the ransomware infection. We have 3 steps there. We have to consider them while we are protecting the environments. We have to secure the networks and systems in our organizations. We should have a sort of incident response plan that includes what to do during the ransomware events. And this is basically part of the cyber resilience journey in the organizations. So the response plan, the incident response plan, should be developed, and it should be tested as well. So we should be
more proactive rather than a reactive. So these kind of plans that needs to be tested in order to ensure that we can do the right things during the ransomware attack. The second point with securing the network and systems, we have to do the backup regularly. And the backup is basically one of the crucial elements there to protect the data, the organization's data, since it is protecting the entire business elements there.
And preferably that you have this backup with an encryption code, so no one then can extract the content there that you do the backup there. Again, the antivirus, but right now they call it an endpoint protection, and basically the extended detection and response endpoint protection is the most usage there with the endpoint protection, and we advise to use this kind of endpoint protection. And some of the organization, I think that they little bit, that not focus more about the how they protect their endpoints with the endpoint protection. And this is basically the lowest part that the organization they should work on. Again, the second point of how we can mitigate the risk of the ransomware, we have to educate the end users by securing them, giving them an awareness program, awareness plans there. We should train them how the social engineering and phishing emails and malicious things, they can report on it in a right way. The suspicious email, the attachments, open the attachments there. So they need basically a regular and a continuous awareness of programs with the end users, because they are the least point that the attackers they can attack into there. And responding to the third level, which is
responding to the compromise attack. Whenever you feel that there's a ransomware or
attacks being compromising you, you have to disconnect basically that systems which is being affected there, and we should identify which kind of data that have the sensitive data in order to
quarantine them and to report. We prefer that this kind of that attacks should be reported to the right people. And this is, for example, we have the Federal Bureau of the Investigation. This is an alternative compliance center. You can report the ransomware there. So these are the very trusted destination that you should report the incidents there.
I try to cover the things that are related with the ransomware, hoping that you get the benefits from my presentation. I'd like to thank again the people who they invited me to be with you. And if you have any such questions, I'm ready to answer your questions there.